What is up, everybody? Professional wrestler Chris Wilde here with a video that's going to be kind of different than what you're used to on this channel. This is also being broadcast through Facebook, I believe. Um, and as you saw in the graphic, the wrestling world lost somebody yesterday, which is happening more frequently than anybody would like, and that's Shannon Daffney Spruill. Um, yeah, I really don't want to go into a lot of details, but I'm going to go into a couple details that is the reason for me doing this live stream. Um, and I'm not really going to be. I'm going to try to look at comments, but this is a kind of a tough subject. And the reason why I'm doing this, you know, I came home from the gym and I started on some wrestling promos for some shows I have coming up, and then was going to do a video on this channel about the Philadelphia Eagles 53-man roster. And I just couldn't shake. I just couldn't shake this. I just could not shake this at all. And I'm like, man, I've got a platform and I've had some experiences, and why not use the platform if anybody is watching, and even if it's just one person gets something out of it. I think I would have done something. I think it would be negligent of me to have a platform like this and not use it. So yeah, this is again not about football. It's not about wrestling. This is more about life. And I don't have anything written down. I have any notes. I don't exactly know what I'm going to say. Uh, but as we lost Daphne yesterday, um, she had done a live stream on Instagram that was very concerning. Uh, she's been battling with depression, and she, did not want to live anymore. The Twitter went crazy. Twitter feed went nuts with support, people trying to find her. And unfortunately, again, I don't know any details, but I do know that unfortunately she did pass away. And I'm not going to ask for any details with respect to her family, respect to the people that love her. But it hit me hard. I mean, there's a lot of deaths in wrestling, and um, there have been some suicides in wrestling. However, again, going through the timeline yesterday, somebody posted the Instagram video, which I mean is just terrible. And I looked at it, and I think it hit me hard because I got it. I understood. Um, I got what she was feeling. I could see it in her eyes, and it's because I've been there, and it's something I don't really share with a lot of people, if anybody. Um, if I see somebody reaching out through Facebook or through Twitter that maybe they're going through a hard time, don't know where to go, I might send a direct message with some places that have helped me or one place that has helped me. Um, but as this isn't, I don't really ever go into specifics about my journey with mental health, and I mean that's what it is. It's an absolute journey. For so long, uh, especially being in the wrestling business. The wrestling is a very cosmetic business, as you can tell. You're not going to pay money to watch your next door neighbor, you know. So you want to go to the gym, you want to look good, you want to feel good. And being, I'll be quite honest with you, being 5'6", even in today's landscape, it was not an easy thing to do. So I was so focused on getting in the gym and training, and I just kind of uh, lost some of what is important. And basically, the biggest muscle that you have in your body is right here. That's the most important one. And I wasn't feeding it enough, and I wasn't working on it at all, to the point where, and I can't remember exactly when it happened, but I believe it was 2017. Um, as most of you know, especially the ones watching on Facebook, I'm wrestling's not doesn't pay the bills for me. As I wish it would. I wish it did, but it just doesn't. Um, so I work in a prison, um, and there was a situation in 2017 where there was a takeover. The inmates took over the prison, and a coworker was tragically killed. And I think that's when I started to feel kind of empty. Uh, there wasn't a lot of sad emotion. I can't remember if I cried. I just don't. I can't remember the last time I cried, to be honest with you. Um, a little bit after that, or a little bit before that, actually, my brother had passed away again. It was like I just wasn't feeling things. It was all let's grind, you know, and let's stick with the grind. And I just started noticing that, when I got down, I really got down. Um, I was always having these feelings in my chest, a lot of tightness. Um, and again, there was just I wouldn't feel things. I just wouldn't feel anything. I was like a robot. I knew there was something wrong, but I didn't know what was wrong. Um, and at times you hear the word depression, and I always thought about depression. That depression equals sad, and it doesn't. So I'd be like, well, I'm not really sad. I'm just not anything. I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I'm here. And again, bad things happen. I would get into a little space, and I would just let myself feel this angst, this what would come to be anxiety. I didn't. It would pass. I didn't know how to deal with it. I just absolutely didn't know how to deal with it. And again, I thought to myself, who am I to complain? Like I'm not out on the streets. I have a great job. I'm living my dream of being a professional wrestler. Like I'm doing things that people said I couldn't do. So I've already jumped over that hurdle. Um, my family's great. I live in a nice place. Like, who am I? I'm not depressed. Why am I complaining here? Why do I feel this way? I'm not going to reach out to anybody because again, they would think I'm silly. Like, dude, there's homeless people. There's people dying overseas. There's, again, a coworker of mine was killed at work. What am I to feel like I have a black cloud in my head? So I never reached out, never thought anything of it. And, and then one day a coworker at the prison job, she knows who she is, but, young, beautiful young lady, like a whole, just nothing but good stuff happening to her. And we were just talking, and she said, I got to set up my appointment with my therapist. And I was like, you're 22 years old. Like, what do you go to a therapist for? And she said, everybody's got something going on. And I said, man, if she's going, maybe it's not so silly that I talk to somebody. So I got the information, and I've been going to therapy ever since. It's the absolute best thing that I ever did, because I didn't want to struggle in silence anymore. I mean, I was struggling, but I was just taking it. I was just taking it. And life's going to do that, man. Life's going to beat you down at times. It's going to absolutely beat you down. And you just keep getting up. And I kept getting up, but I was keeping every single thing to myself, everything bottled inside. That was those feelings that were going on. And when you're feeling that kind of stuff, and this is important, and I can't speak to how Daffney was feeling. Like I said, like I just, it still shakes me to my core. I haven't been able to stop thinking about that video. But I just understood. I just understood. And in the video, you could hear her phone ring, and she was ignoring it. And I got it, because when you feel that way, when you feel that kind of way, you just don't want to feel anymore. You just don't want to feel anymore. It's how can I put this? For me, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I never have done drugs. A lot of people, that's how they kind of mask their depression, or that's kind of how they self-medicate themselves. I also don't take any medication. I don't like any kind of foreign chemicals inside my body. But again, and for people like me, or there's a certain way not to feel anymore, and that's, you just don't want to be here. You just don't want to be here. You got people that love you. You got kids, and in your head, you're thinking, I don't want them to see me self-destructing inside. I want their memories of me to be good. So let's just call it quits. Let's just call it a good day. Hopefully I have a nice funeral, and everything's great, and everybody remembers great things about me. Like, that's the thoughts that go into your head when you're struggling and struggling and struggling with depression, and you just don't want to be there. And you think it's your fault. It's a lot. And what therapy does. And I know not everybody can go to a therapist. I know it's expensive. There is Medicaid out there if you don't have insurance. Again, I'm blessed with a job that gives me some really good insurance. But for me to be able to get all my feelings and purge all those feelings and talk to somebody that I know, and here's the important thing, and I really think this is important. And again, I might just be rambling on. I don't know, but again, I feel like if anybody hears this and it helps anybody, it'll make a difference. But here's the very important thing: a lot of people will say, and I saw this through Twitter, and I saw this through Facebook and different social media platforms, saying, "Hey, check on your people. Everybody, check on your people. Make sure they're okay." Do you know how many times my people have came to me and asked me if I'm okay, and I look them dead in their eyes and lied to them and I said, "Yeah, sure, I'm okay." And the reason is because, first off, anybody that has any kind of relationship with you, whether it's friendship, um, family members, the closest people to you, you don't want them to judge you. You don't want them to judge you. Even if they say, "Look, I'll never judge you." Even if you've done some crazy things with these people that most people don't understand. And again, in the wrestling business, you guys know what I'm talking about. They're guys that I trust my body with and my life with. When I step into the ring, I don't want them. I don't want them to judge me in even the smallest way for the way that I'm feeling, especially being a male. In my generation growing up, you're supposed to be tough. You can't stop being a baby, stop crying, right? So you're not going to talk to those people. You're just not. I mean, some people might, but most, at least in my experience, at least for me, I didn't want to. I didn't want to talk to the people, and even if it was just a random person, knowing that I might see them and then they might judge me or they might tell somebody, I just absolutely didn't want to. So that's out of that thing. Checking on your people. You can't trust that somebody is okay when they say they're okay. It's just, it's like, and I for those of you that watch me on YouTube, myself and Zach Connor started a YouTube channel on The Sopranos. It's just my favorite show ever. Makes me happy. So why not talk about it? So we're having a blast. But one of the things, and the character on that show, and yes, it's just a show, it's fake. I get it. Tony Soprano, the mob boss, goes to a therapist because he keeps having panic attacks. And he says to her, and this is a real thing to me, and I completely understand it. And he said he's like the happy clown, or I'm sorry, the sad clown, smiling on the outside, crying on the inside. And that's what a lot of people that battle with depression or just feelings. It doesn't have to be depression; it could be anxiety too. The two don't come. I mean, they sometimes, most of the time, they come together, but they don't always have to be. But that's just how it is. I mean, yes, check on your people. Absolutely. Check on your people. Make sure they're okay. But again, it's not foolproof. It doesn't mean that these people are going to be okay. And you look at someone like Daffney, man, she, I didn't know her personally. I met her a couple times at shows. From what I can tell, she was an absolute sweetheart. She was kind of a trailblazer. I mean, if you think about it, and for those of you that aren't wrestling fans, I mean, in the early 2000s, a lot of the females that were in the wrestling business kind of all had a similar look. And she was her own, she was just from a different mold. She stood out. I remember at one time, I think the first time that I saw her, she was giving a hurricanrana to Shane Helms. And I was like, man, she looked so excited. Just you could see the real excitement on her face that she did that. And again, if she would have sent out a tweet saying, "Hey, help me, I'm struggling," oh man, thousands and thousands of people would have come to her aid without a doubt. Someone like her. But again, she just again, everyone's brain's different, and she just felt like she couldn't. I feel like, and again, I don't know anything about her, but again, I always recommend therapy because, again, you don't want people judging you, right? So I know when I go to my therapist, we don't have a personal relationship. And it's her job not to judge me. It's her job. Sometimes she just stares at me and when I say all the things that I have to say, and I feel better for it. Another thing that I think, again, if you're feeling some kind of way, if you're just feeling off a little bit, like I was feeling, again, it was just an off feeling. I wasn't going, I wasn't, I've never had a suicide attempt ever. That's just never been my thing. But I just felt off. I just felt off. And if you're feeling that way, it's not going to hurt to check out a therapist. But one of the things that my therapist does is something called neurofeedback therapy as well, where they do a brain map. And there's certain areas of your brain that might be lacking gamma or alpha. And 2 times a week, I go and they put electrodes on my head, and they, I guess you could say, feed the brain. It's like a workout for your brain. It's like going to the gym for your brain. That's what neurofeedback is. Look it up and Google it. Google could probably explain it better than I could. But one day I might work on focus. One day I might work on anxiety. And again, I thought to myself, I'm going to the gym every day, and I'm doing all this stuff to my body, but I'm not working out my brain. So going to neurofeedback was a game changer for me. Now, look, if you don't have insurance and for whatever reason you can't get Medicaid, and sometimes it's hard to get out of bed. You just can't get out of bed, and that's one of the biggest things too. Some days, man, it was a struggle just to get up, and I work midnight state in the morning, so that's hard to begin with. But it was just a struggle to get up, and I would always know that when I sat up, I needed to stick my chest out, put my shoulders back, because by doing that, I'm letting the world know I'm ready for that first hit. And if you're gonna fucking hit me, I might go to my ass, but I'm still gonna get up. And then I'd make my bed, and that's important too, because that was the first goal. Second goal after waking up. So sometimes you don't feel like that. It's, how am I going to get to a therapist? I can't even get out of the house, is what some people might ask. And there are hotlines. There's a national suicide hotline that's out there. Again, I think this is good because again, it's somebody on that line that's not going to judge you. And stupid me, forgot to write down that number, but I'm sure somebody in the comments, if one of you guys can throw that out for me, the suicide hotline number, that would be well appreciated. But it's out there, and you talk to somebody that doesn't know you, that you're never going to see, and they can, for lack of a better phrase, talk you off the edge. Another thing, I've seen it a lot, and people have, because one of the things Daffney said was, she said, "Don't you guys understand? I'm all alone." And a lot of people said, "Look, you're never alone." And again, where that could be true in some instances, for me, it's not true. Because I'm around so many people all the time. Again, my 2 children, always around. If not them, again, I work at a place where there's tons of people. If I'm wrestling, tons of people there. I'm always around people, but there's some days I'm just alone. I'm just alone because nobody can feel the way I feel. To me, Eric Boyer, thank you for the number there. But sometimes it doesn't matter how many people are around you. It doesn't matter how many people are in your corner or how many people are giving you a pat on the back. Sometimes you just feel alone, and the key is learning how to handle that, learning what to do, learning to go to a happy place, somewhere that you're always happy inside your brain. I mean, that helps me a lot as well. I'm putting this number down. And let's see. Okay. 1-800-273-8255. That's the suicide hotline. And again, this is stuff, I mean, and it's hitting a lot of people worse now than ever, because here we are in an era where, COVID-19, shutdowns, people losing their business, people losing their jobs. Mental health is more important than it ever has been, even for the absolute strongest people out there. I never give up is a thing. I like to say to myself, because again, sometimes you just wake up hurting, man. Not physically, but I can't explain it. I like to recycle that pain into something good. Uh, no matter what that is, whether it's wrestling, whether it's regular work, whether it's being in the gym, whether it's just getting up, just outlasting that pain for me. Again, that's a win, and I want to win. Everybody wants to win. As I don't know how people are spiritually, whether you believe in a higher power, whether you believe in God, what do you believe in, but somebody put us here. Something happened to put us here. And for me, as long as I'm waking up in the morning, that is God saying, I'm not done with you yet. You're still in the game. And I definitely want to continue to be in the game and don't want to take myself out of it. And I hope a lot of other people feel that way as well. Again, guys, therapy. I just think it's so important. I just think it's so important. Just doing something, like COVID-19 struck. I lost professional wrestling. Professional wrestling for me was an outlet. It was, again, I don't do drugs. It's just never been my thing. I've never even tried a recreational drug. But wrestling is that drug for me. Going through that curtain. And I've talked to some people about this at a 1CW show, or it was maybe ECWA. How like it's an addiction. That rush you get once you break that curtain, or you get in the ring and you get hit for the first time. It's just, I don't know. It's everything goes away. The world goes away at that moment. It's just you and professional wrestling. That when that was taken away, I had to find something else. I had to, and again, like luckily I was already going to therapy. We talked about just got to find something else. Got to find something else to be creative with. You have to find something else, another place for your brain to go. And I got on YouTube and I started talking about Eagles games because I'm an Eagles fan. It's a big part of my life, and it was a big part of my childhood. So why not talk about it? I'm going to talk about it, and it's become fun. The whole Sopranos thing with Zach. We're not talking about wrestling. We're not talking about sports. We're not talking about personal life. We're just talking about stuff that we like. Something that brings us a little bit of joy at the end of the day, where we don't got to think about rent. We don't got to think about bills. We don't got to think about anything for that hour. Just us being us. And with with the YouTube channel, I've told people before, I don't care if I have 1 subscriber or 2,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers. This is for me. This is me being able to be me. And that's an important thing. I think for everybody it is. Again, you guys are just joining me, and I don't want to put this to the side because the reason why I did this was what happened to Daffney yesterday. Again, I'm not going to go into any real details, but it was a mental health issue, and a lot of people are hurting right now, and a lot of people are wondering how they could have helped. It sucks. Absolutely sucks. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I mean, we're almost half an hour in here. I appreciate everybody for watching on Facebook, or people that will watch on the channel. I'll probably keep this video up on the Eagles News Now YouTube channel for a little bit. And I hope, again, maybe somebody can get something from this. Maybe, you just never know. I really wanted to talk about this because it's, for a long time, I looked at it as a weakness, and it's absolutely, again, one of the things that I've learned through therapy is it's not a weakness. It's not a weakness. I ran away from this for so long, guys. Like, ran away from the feelings, ran away from, it'll be better. Tomorrow will be a better day. Oh, I'm just, you know what? I'm just in my feelings. I'm just being a little bitch right now. That's what I tell myself. Let's be honest. Which were completely wrong feelings to have. So I stopped running from it, and I started running to it. And taking it head on. I'm still taking it head on, and I'll still endorse therapy and mental health. And again, anybody out there that wants to talk to me about it, you can slide into my DMs. I cannot, however, and again, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I cannot promise that I will respond quickly, because it's just, sometimes it's just impossible, again, for me. 2 kids, 2 careers. Like sometimes it's just hard, but I will at some point get back to you, or at least point you in the right direction, or at least send you a link again for somewhere that you can find some help. If you're local in the Delaware area, more into the Dover area, I'll go out and put it out there right now. The therapist that I see, her name is Jennifer Potts. She deals with a lot of PTSD. She, I think, is the only neurofeedback place in the area. Just an absolute awesome human being, awesome staff. And it definitely helped me change my life. And I'm just very, very, God works in mysterious ways. Mysterious things happen. And it was just one night, I found out that a beautiful 22-year-old girl was going to therapy, and I was like, okay, she can do it. Why can't I? Man, rip Daffney. Sucks. So bad. She was one of the good things about WCW in the 2000s. There wasn't many, but she was her Crowbar, ECWA alumni, and David Flair. Very, very entertaining. She did tons of stuff after that too, with TNA. This woman was a badass, for sure. So everybody just take care of yourselves out there. I could, if I had the time, I'd go into CTE. That's a whole nother issue, dealing with concussions and that stuff. But yeah, this one stinks, and they all stink. They all do. Again, this one just hit me hard, man. Just seeing that look in her face, I'm like, man, I get it. I know what she is dealing. I know it because I've been there. I've looked in the mirror and I've seen that look. And it's again, it's just, and the thing is, it's not her fault. It's not her fault at all. You can't control you can't control your feelings. You can't tell yourself not to feel a certain way. You just can't do it. I mean, it's like telling yourself to go outside and look up in the sky and have the sky not be blue, have it be pink or red at that time. No, it's always going to be blue through your eyes. You can't control that. There are things you can't control. And again, it's okay. Joe, what's going on, dude? Joe Simon up in the comments. Again, guys, thanks for watching. But yeah, absolutely, mental health is nobody's fault, but it's something that we can control. We can control our physical health, and we can definitely control how we deal with our mental health. And it's just finding the one person. It's just hearing the right thing from somebody. And again, that's just why I'm up here running my mouth right now. So we've all lost too many. Yeah, we have. We absolutely have. We've lost too many to mental health problems and issues, and I hope that we don't lose any more for a very, very long time. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, get ready to go into jail. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Again, the number's on the bottom there, and hit me up if you guys have any questions. I will have some videos up about my upcoming ECWA match and 1CW and some more Eagle stuff, but this had to be done tonight. So again, if you're watching, thank you. Be safe, everybody. Go Birds. I'll see you later.